A lot of what I'm seeing in the sky to do with the situation and the global conflict right now is actually like the runway or the precursor of what I'm going to call the Leo story. And I don't want to be depressive here, but I want to be realistic. And we're going to see something that's much longer and longer lasting. This thing goes on for at least 2 years. We do have the South Node there this time, and it's not a small deal. If it doesn't blow up, then we've had a divine and angelic intervention, which I am hoping for. The exalted Jupiter and a Venus in a difficult sign, Aries. Opportunity is trying to find you in a difficult or challenging way. We are in a peril of a renewal of the lease. The sky isn't causing your life to happen. The sky is mirroring what is happening.
Lunatic astrology.
When money and love get difficult, when you find yourself in one of those situations where you know you've got an opportunity in front of you and somehow you've got to grab it by the old balls, well, what are you going to do? You're going to look at how to deal with an exalted Jupiter and a Venus in a difficult sign, Aries, and how to collaborate with that sky and make this week ahead a positive outcome. For opportunity is trying to find you in a difficult or challenging way. We're also going to break it down a little bit this week for your sign, how to deal with what might be some difficult conversations that must be had early in the week. And we're going to also bring to your attention a surprising and somewhat positive energy with Uranus and the sun. In this week's astrology time map, which is what astrology is, it is a map of time. We're going to take you bit by bit through how to deal with this week ahead. The world has gone to hell in a handbasket in the very light touch when I share the sky with you, the picture of the sky. I'm going to talk about the situation right now in the world with the situation called WAR. And I don't want to even get this thing shadow banned. So I'm going to try to use code words. And we're going to see something that's much longer and longer lasting in terms of world conflagrations and difficult situations than we would hope for. And that's because this situation that's currently upon us is connected very strongly to an upcoming cycle with Jupiter in Leo and the South Node. And that tells us this thing goes on for at least 2 years. I'm so sorry to bring you that news. I don't care if it all fixes up and stops and there's all these treaties that are formed or ceasefires. I still think we're in for a long haul. So let's settle into that. This is not particularly a world astrology video, although of course I'm going to cover that for you. This is world astrology and this is your sign. We're going to go through all signs together. By the way, my name is Lori Lothe and welcome to my channel. If this is your cup of tea and you really like all signs astrology, which I do so much of, then please sign up for my channel by liking and subscribing. If you are already subscribed, and this is Western Tropical Zodiac, not Sidereal, check again. I had 6,000 new subscribers in the last 28 days and 1,900 unsubscribers. I do not believe they were unsubscribed. I'm getting emails, phone calls, and conversations in my comments that you've been unsubscribed and you've been a regular viewer. I think it's the normal bot scrub, so to speak, that YouTube goes through, but double check that you're still subscribed. And then let's get going, shall we? I like to tell you guys astrology is a time map, but it's not a gimmick. I really mean it. And I use it in my own life to time everything that I do, but I'm not fixated. I don't not get out of bed if the sky looks bad. You know what I mean? But we can use it to say, look at the weather patterns. There's going to be a blizzard. I should definitely bring some kind of snow gear. And the reason I want to mention time map concept is because I'm helping you time the week ahead. And I put my monthly time your own sign's month ahead. And I also have my 2026 time your year ahead individual and all signs videos for sale down below, a yearly fundraiser. But I do want to remind you that this is general bell curve astrology. We're using a whole sign, sun, moon, or rising, and telling you a story of what may be occurring and how you can navigate the sky's interface with reality. And the sky isn't causing your life to happen. The sky is mirroring what is happening, what will be happening, and what has happened. But on the other hand, for a real good astrology reading that is hyper-focused, you'll need to see an astrologer. I'm not doing readings right now, but remember, this is general astrology, not your individual sign. If something like your natal chart, if something I say doesn't resonate, then don't take it, discard it. If something I say resonates, then, and you want it to happen, then you're going to hope that it does, right? So that's the lay of the land. Alrighty, I'm teaching my Divine Timing Masterclass, Ancient Timing Tools to Time Map Your Life kind of thing. That class is coming out in May for 5 weekends in a row. If you want to get on the wait list so you know when the enrollment card opens, opens, come aboard, check the wait list below. This is not a class for beginners. If you're still learning the language of astrology at the very basic level, there'll be a little quiz on the enrollment page to see what level you're at. Then don't come aboard because you'll just be frustrated. You can take Skyraider every fall. I teach my 6-week course this fall starting in September again, and it's going to be 8 weeks this time to give you guys a longer, slower, gradual curve for learning the language of astrology. I am ready to show you the chart. So I'm going to show you what the sky looks like in a 2-dimensional diagram. So let's get that up and running. I'm going to focus on Jupiter squaring Mercury. That's the main the main discussion for this week I had. Okay. So let's get going and let's bring that up. I'm going to go quickly today. The reason I'm going to be talking pretty quickly is I have an appointment I need to physically be at and walk to, and I had to be there in 1 hour and 20 minutes. So we're going to go nice and fast in order to find your sign and the meaning of your sign and everything else. Please do not worry. You can slow me back down on the playback speed so that you can listen at any speed that makes you happy. So my fast speech is not going to interrupt your well-being. Now let's talk about Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to really just focus on the 18th of the week, which is a Wednesday. And that's when this Jupiter-Venus square occurs. As you can see, Venus is 15 and Jupiter is at 15. This comes on the heels of some difficult conversations that you might have been having on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, some angry or intense revelations, dreams or discussions with others. But we're not going to focus on what happened on Sunday, Monday. We're moving right to what Epicenter Wednesday brings us. You want to flank that by a day or two on each side. And that is golden opportunity of some kind, because Jupiter is in the house of home and property and land and real estate and prosperity in and from the home and children in the home and money in the home and legacy wealth and inheritance money coming your way if that's part of your wheelhouse. And the energy tells us that also at the very same time with Jupiter down in the 4th house, that Venus is saying we've got something good we desire, we want, we wish to acquire, we're yearning for it. It's something attractive to us, except that Venus is not in good shape. She's in exile in this sign. And it may mean that, well, there is this opportunity that's forming and it likely brings you more money. She rules your money house and more exposure to audience and marketplace or more success in a significant relationship, especially when it comes to home and matters of the home. There's just something about it that feels a little bit like you have to strike out on a frigging, war battlefield, like as a female Xena warrior princess. Why does it feel like you have to be Xena warrior princess? Because Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this is your sign, right? Aries, Sun, career, Moon, home, and nest and emotion. And Aries, Rising, it is your character in the simulation. So you might feel a little bit like you have to go to battle like a female warrior to get the good opportunity that's juicing your way. Could actually be a land, property, real estate contract opportunity or a prosperity opportunity connected to your family origin. Like this constellation here, but in particular, and the way it lines up could also indicate somebody is in the hospital with a health challenge that and that some of this is to do with what wealth from a situation connected to someone in a hospital. I also want to make you aware of considering something here. If other people making a lot of demands of you right now, you may feel like overly stressed with Venus in exile from, she wants to accommodate the spouse, accommodate the, audience and marketplace, but she's in rough condition. She's with the chironic wound. So you may want to sort of take a few deep breaths this week ahead. It may not be the best feeling for you this week. Also on the 18th, we're going to have that new moon. But I've covered that on Sunday's video drop yesterday. This video comes out on a Monday for your sign. I like this moon a lot because of this relationship to Jupiter. Go watch the new moon video, the new moon in your 12th house, which I've already delineated for every single sign in great depth. The way I treat this story, if I were you this week, is there's an opportunity with a cost. The cost might be very personal to you. It may be about some kind of, do I really want to have to push forward in such a independent, fierce, pioneering, and aggressive manner in order for this opportunity to be made true or for it to occur. And that's something you're going to have to ask yourself at the time, because when Venus in this condition, there is prosperity, there is luck, there is opportunity, and yet there may be a little bit of a cost. So go inward, with this stellium here, navel gaze a bit, look more deeply, truly at what is your calling and what you really want in life before you jump on an opportunity that may make you feel a little bit like a frazzled Joan of Arc on the battlefield and having to grab the opportunity like a battlefield opportunity rather than something that's gracefully moving and flowing towards you. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. Yeah, well, the week is behind you, but kind of like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, Monday, you might have had some difficult conversations with children or difficult conversations with friends or some blowouts with friends or children in terms of Mars and Mercury combining forces here back on Sunday, Monday. But they kind of, as we get to the middle of the week, we have that new moon on the 18th on Wednesday. That new moon video was dropped yesterday. Go watch it for your sign. We also are wondering about what to do this opportunity week ahead, because we do see Venus and Jupiter, two benefics, both representing good luck and opportunity in some different ways, but they both have good things to say. Jupiter, he's like, I got some great expansion opportunities for you, Taurus. Do you want to, move, travel? Do you want to be prosperous in an online or brick and mortar business? Do you want to engage in business activities in the local neighborhood? It's golden, it's beautiful, it's exalted opportunity. Do you want to write, communicate, market, and sell, teach, and also feel like it's an opportunity for wealth, abundance, success, and expansion? And as Jupiter's saying that, and he's flowing to the north node of worldly success and all of this in your house of great gains from your career, well, if that's all going on, Venus is talking to Jupiter and she's like, okay, yeah, sure. But she's exiled from the house of livelihood, work, employer-employee situations, right? She's in the 12th house of hospitals, jails, and nasal gazing contemplation in your downtime alone in your ashram or whatever you do, in your rehab center even. And so she's so busy over here, but this could be, if she was in better shape, a golden opportunity connected to work and career gains. So what's the holdup? What could be going on here? Opportunity could be coming from somebody in another country, somebody connected to foreign lands, somebody connected to hospital settings. But you also may suspect that this opportunity is too good to be true because she's in the house of hidden enemies and she's not in good shape. And so you have to really inspect this opportunity and make a decision. It's going to be felt Monday through Friday with the epicenter around Wednesday, and make a decision about whether this is a real opportunity or not, or if it's worth your time and energy, and whether you really want to sort of grab this one. And I don't know if I could say you shouldn't do it. That would not be the right thing to do. But there's something you need to attend to back here. This is expenditures, and she's the Lord of the House of Debts. What kind of financial debt and expenditure must be attended to in order for this opportunity to be qualifying as a good one? And also money from a sibling, sibling one younger in particular, may be a part of this narrative under this kind of sky, or from a childhood friend or some person in your local neighborhood giving you a golden prosperity opportunity. But what's with the debts and expenditures axis that may have you have to look a little more clearly, because maybe it's an opportunity that asks you to take on more debt than you're willing to do. Sure, you can buy somebody's house, but do you want to finance, $1 million mortgage? You might not. So really look at expenditures and finances and opportunities, whether the cost is worth it, right? What's the cost benefit ratio here? Hey, Gemini, sun, moon, and rising sign. I'm recording this a second time. I noticed that you've got this energy going on as the week begins with some kind of kerfuffle in the 10th house. You might have a difficult conversation Sunday, Monday, even into Tuesday. It could have started Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, with somebody connected to office, job, career, work, employee-employer situations, and Mercury, Mars are having that tussle in a kind of difficult words. And it could often lead someone like you, because you're Mercury ruled, to quit your job or fire an employee, or even consider exiting some part of your work, whether or not it's like a full-blown I quit, or it's just I quit this part of my work. So there's that vibe going on, and you might really feel it strongly Saturday, Sunday behind us, because you get this video Monday through till even Tuesday. As Wednesday approaches, And you might feel overstretched, right? Mercury wants to be in the fourth house, home alone in the midnight hour, spending quiet time privately. And there may be just too much extension of you into the visible sky, into the public eye, into your workplace. And you just might be asking yourself whether this is worth it. So you just might be feel really frazzled, right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Then as you go forward onto Wednesday, so you'll feel it Monday to Friday, really. Wednesday is where Jupiter, growth, expansion, and opportunity squares Venus. Kaboom. Look at that 15-degree square. There is a new moon that day, and I've already covered it in Sunday's video. That's a 10th house fresh start. Go watch that video. But for your sign, it was on Sunday, dropping on Sunday, the 15th. I kind of would say it's a money opportunity because Jupiter is in your earnings house and resources and pocketbook or wallet, the resources you possess. And you can notice that when he's here, he's exalted and he's direct motion through to the end of June. This is so powerful. And yet he's direct motion since March 11 to the end of June. And yet as he's getting ready to bust out on a very powerful star, the dog star, he's in a square to Venus, and Venus is saying, okay, wait a minute here. This is the career gains. I've got more celebrity, more money, more red carpet moments, more awards. And I am literally, she said, something's not quite right. I want to be in the fifth house of enjoyment, fun, play, pleasure, romance, the muse, inspiration, creativity. That sounds like me. I have a progressed Gemini sun. I want to write one of my 5 frigging books. And I have all this YouTube work to do. Sorry, guys, and everything else. And so I'm in a gilded cage of YouTube success. And so she's up here and like, oh my God, yeah, do I have to do this like career gains thing here? It even could be an opportunity offered to you by an ally or a benefactor to up-level your career. And while it is an authentically positive opportunity that could bring lasting results, Saturn, it also feels onerous. And it feels like it's just one more career opportunity that just maybe one piece too much for me. Like, the Jenga where everything falls? It's like a Jenga tower that could fall no matter what you're doing. One more task could literally Jenga you out. One more opportunity could collapse a whole structure of the Jenga game. So be careful with that. My advice to myself as a progressed Gemini sun and you, Saturn has normally sage-like wisdom, but he's in a condition of fall. He wants to be exiled over here. She's also in an exile. They're both saying, what inspires you? What brings you enthusiasm? What brings you joy and enjoyment of life? What makes it feel like the muse is running through you like a crystalline river? When you get that feeling, the answer is yes. If you don't have that feeling, even if it could bring you money, you may have to reassess. Jupiter is like a glutton. He's exalted. He just wants more money, more money. But is that what you really want? You are not Jupiter. Jupiter is a force in your sky. So it's okay to say no to certain financial opportunities if you can afford to, when there is something deeper and more true. This is the house of your natural talents and gifts. Are you expressing in your zone of mediocrity, genius, or excellence? How can you find the excellence and the genius? I mean, I'm excellent at YouTube broadcasts. I'm a genius at writing. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm a genius at writing. Award-winning short fiction writer, blah, blah, blah. So how can you express your zone of genius and creativity, art, pleasure, and joy? And maybe that you can still say yes to this opportunity this Wednesday, but you have to do it understanding if there's a cost, is it worth it? That's what I'm going to give you. That's what I got. I hope that's true. All righty. On your Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising folk here, you're going to notice that we have this week, it starts off kind of Saturday, Sunday, Monday. By Tuesday, it fades. What is this difficult, harder conversation that you might be having? It could be with a sibling. It could be with a childhood friend. It could be with a neighbor. And it could be even with a cousin. And that conversation is going to be gritty, or that communication or that information is going to feel gritty. And it may make you feel like there's a sharp sword in the air in that communications axis across the way here. And because Mercury is also the planetary ruler of your 12th house, it could involve conversations connected to travel and some truncation or change or exit strategy around travel, both domestic and international, that may be occurring. And you may not be welcoming of it, because the news may put a dent in your hopes and plans for a travel opportunity or even a educational opportunity. Like you get a letter of rejection from your favorite university, that kind of thing. So there's that vibe going on, Sunday, Monday into Tuesday. And when we move into Wednesday, the 18th, when we have the new moon in Pisces, that video for your sign is a great new moon. It went out yesterday on Sunday the 15th. You can listen to that separately, please. But today, I also would say on the Wednesday, the day of the moon, so you'll feel it Monday to Friday, we end up with this square between two opportunity gods. Jupiter in your sign is lucky, bringing you luck, expansion, and growth, having your back, making sure everything goes super well for you. But at the same time, as he gives you golden opportunities, and he's been in direct motion since March the 11th, and will be all the way until, goodness gracious, June 30th. This is a test of some sort. Sometimes it's like, okay, more authority, more responsibility, and more duty, Saturn, in your career sector, in your professional and career advancements. But don't forget, if you're retired, what are you doing in the world? Now, all of a sudden, the homeowners association that you're the president of want you to take on more duties, or your golf buddies want you to play 10 times a week, whatever it is. So there's more responsibility, more duty, and more something you need to do in the career space. And Venus loves pleasure, and she's exiled from her home. And her home is the fourth house. And that's like, I'm watching Netflix movies, I'm baking cookies, I'm tending my garden, I'm walking my dog, I'm playing with my kids, and I'm loving up my spouse. Fourth house, quiet, midnight hours, solitude, private life stuff is which she really likes, but she's way at the top of the sky with dutiful Saturn. And you might just be feeling your work-home life balance is completely stressed. And the difference here is that Jupiter is going to expand opportunities if Venus says yes this Wednesday, go Monday to Friday, where you can really level up in a very powerful way in your career sector and the gains of your career, which is the 11th house, second from her. So it'd be like, oh, more money, more rewards, more perks, more success. At what cost? That's all I'm going to say. The cost might be more than you're willing to bear. And if that's true, you can work to negotiate a bit here, but because Mercury is trining you more or less right now, so your negotiating powers could be okay, but you might not also see very clearly what the details are you need to negotiate, because when Mercury is in Pisces, he's got the details all wrong. He goes direct on March the 20th, so maybe any kind of negotiations you're trying to make regarding career responsibilities and duties, you might want to wait, until he's in direct motion at the very least, which will be after March the 20th. But this opportunity is coming up on the 18th. So take some time to chill a bit and consider what it is you're going to do with this opportunity, that crunchy vibe that you're getting here in this particular sky. Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign. So Mercury in the beginning of the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you feel some difficult tension in a chunky money house, maybe some difficult information or news about taxes or shared spousal resources, divorce settlement or inheritance money, some crunchy vibe. And it's nothing new. Mercury's retrograde. He will be direct on the 20th, which is Friday, and that's not too shabby. But before that, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday early this week, look for some kind of difficulty here. And it's definitely on the money axis, okay? And Mercury can translate that to difficult conversations with your colleagues, coworkers, and friends about money, even a sibling one older. And also this energy may translate to Mercury's Virgo sky, which is, of course, money and earnings itself. So there's going to like, okay, what is this about? You'll feel it like, maybe it'll be gone by the end of the day, Monday into Tuesday, probably. As you move forward and you look next at the story that happens when you get to midweek. Yes, we have a new moon in Pisces. Yes, I've done a whole all signs video that comes out Sunday, the 15th, the day before this drops. So go watch that. But it also is accompanied on Wednesday, the 18th, by a square between the two benefics. And there's good and bad to this. The good news is that on Wednesday, you'll feel it Monday through Friday. There's some kind of possibility. There's something that you yearn for or desire or want that's connected to meaning and purpose in life, something significant. It can also be a connection to matters to do with foreign lands, pilgrimages, ashrams, and court cases and higher education. Venus is in the that house, but she's also in exile from her home kingdom in the third house, which is Libra. And this could mean she really prefers to be here, which is she wants to be in this local neighborhood area. She wants to be dealing with stuff that has to do with maybe social media, writing and communicating, or just shorter distance travel, or just a local environment in the everyday world. She's at the top of the sky. This is Fly the Friendly Skies. This is the international place. Anyway, she's squaring Jupiter in a house of distant shores and far off lands. Some Leos could have an opportunity to travel quite a ways away from home. And yet there's some sense that there might be too much of a cost to it. You may not be interested in that opportunity at all. Or you might be looking at something to do with a dispensation of money coming from someone in a far off land and shore with international elements to it. And maybe all it is you're having a difficult time getting that wire transfer done, and no big deal. But look from Monday to Friday for feeling some financial opportunity, Jupiter, from distant people, foreign lands and shores. You could be looking at inheritance money if it involves father figures, and some challenges around the dispensation of those kinds of monies as well. Finally, Venus in your ninth house, she's really like, she's got that really strong impetus because she's in Aries to plow ahead independently, sometimes recklessly, like a Xena warrior princess vibe, no matter what, in order to open up to this opportunity in the 12th house, which can be digital income, borderless revenue, and money made from international sources. However, what is the cost? Is what the question I'm asking you is, what would you not want it for? Because she does rule your house of career and your reputation house. And she does rule the third house of the writing and the publishing and the marketing and selling. I almost feel like some of you are dealing with some situation that may involve, I'm sitting with it, give me a minute, because of Saturn. It could also be difficulty for some of you in spousal relationship matters connected to money, especially shared monies, coming epicenter Wednesday, Monday through Friday. All right. So I think my goal in all of this week ahead astrology is to give you a time map with some guidance. So would you say yes to this opportunity? It will increase your career success, and it will make you likely feel very good about anything to do with all the themes I talked about. But maybe just find a way to bring it back down to the third house and find a balance. And that would mean go for walks in the neighborhood, join a gym, spend some time doing social things with people who live near you. You need to find the balance here, and then the opportunity will be a yes. But if you don't have the balance, Venus in the ninth house, Jupiter in the 12th, then you might be overextending yourself and you're losing the touch with the everyday routines that support you, working out, eating the right food, buying the right groceries. The everyday routines that support your life need to be attended to if you're going to seize this opportunity that opens up for you midweek, but you may experience the opening as early as Monday and as late as Friday. All right. How about Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign? It looks like you've got the beginning of the week, maybe some very difficult, maybe angry conversations with a significant long-term love partner, maybe a client, maybe someone in your audience or client base, or your partner's going through a very difficult time because Mars and Mercury are together with the North Node, amplifying some stress that the person that you're with is under. It could definitely be for your significant other career stress. And you may be watching them go through it. They may be so career stress, they want to just quit their job or something. And your significant other could also be feeling like this time to get sick. I know it sounds crazy, but it could bring them into oh, I can't take the pressure. I'm going to go get, the flu so I don't have to go to work. And that could happen to your significant other. This is early in the week, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So 2 days behind you when you first get this video drop. Or again, watch out for very clashy, angry, gnarly conversations, and hopefully not like someone wants to break up, but there's a bit of that intensity here for sure. Now, when we go through to Wednesday and we see the new moon in Pisces, the video for that came out Sunday, the day before this one, Sunday the 15th. Go check it out. And then we actually move away from that because we're not going to do it again. And we think, well, what else happens this week? And the most important thing to me is Jupiter in his once every 12-year journey through a place of exaltation, which is your 11th house of good spirit, where he's in his joy house, which means windfalls, pennies from heaven, lucky breaks, greater career gains, actualization of your goals and dreams and wishes. Could be really great for an up level in your career space, raise, promotion, acceleration of success. At the same time, you've got to deal with Venus in the 8th house squaring Jupiter. And Venus and Jupiter are fine together, but Venus is exiled. So she wants to be here in the house of money that you're earning and that you already possess, but she's in a house of shared monies with other people, like shared royalties with a publishing company, shared monies with a commission check. If you like a real estate agent makes money, but they share some of it with the selling agent, some of it with the brokerage firm. So that's shared resources, right? Money that comes from financing through banks, loans, and mortgages, money that you want to leverage, money that comes from your spouse and you and your in-laws. So there's different kinds of money. This kind of money, she's not happy right now here. She's near Chiron and she's exiled. She wants to be down here in the 2nd house, kind of just enjoying the possession she has, her full pocketbook and wallet, spending what she has to spend, not trying to hustle to get money to spend. And so there's something about the money story that could be a challenge here. And Jupiter rules your 4th house, and that's the house of land, property, and real estate. So I could make it a case that it could be a beautiful opportunity, maybe coming through a friend or a work situation or a benefactor regarding land, property, and real estate matters, financing and refinancing, and maybe even an opportunity to buy a place with a spouse, for example. But the stress levels about the debt load or the money load might be the clincher, a hoser, because even an exiled Saturn squaring Pluto here says the same thing. It's like, can you afford that? Is it really reasonable to go in that direction? There could be some money coming through a father figure under the sky as well. And that can include inheritances as well, or trust funds or dispensations of money and living trust. But there could be money from a parental father figure opening up into this midweek story as well. And then the fallen nature of Venus is, of course, she'd rather make her own money than rely on family money, because she's like, I want to be in my 4th house doing my own hustle. In-law money as well. Money coming your way through your partner. And that includes inheritance money that your partner receives. And you're just not your cup of tea. Anyway, the opportunity here is also to increase your success in your own career, particularly fame, fortune, and gains. Just be careful of what the cost of it is. There may be a cost. Libra, sun, moon, and rising sign. Let's check the time. Can you believe I recorded half the video and had to start over? You're looking to me like you've got to level up something here. First of all, watch out for that difficult conversation with a colleague, coworker, employee, or bad news about your pet's health or your own health maybe could come Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Also, difficulties with rental property situations may emerge this week as well. Now, and also with servants and people you employ. That doesn't last very long. That's going to be kind of like a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday vibe. And then we move into midweek Wednesday. And on Wednesday, Jupiter and Venus will come into a square. There's a new moon that day. We've covered that on the drop of the 15th of the month behind us. Go watch your signs. New moon, very beautiful new moon in Pisces. But here, you see how hard you're working. All Libras are working hard right now, right? Because Mars is here. Until April 9th, you're working your ass off. But I will say that you've got to deal with the midweek square between Venus and Jupiter. Career success, gains, prosperity. Jupiter's heading direct. It's already there, March 11th to June 30th, not back for 12 years. This is the last gasp of an exaltation of career success, gain, power, wealth. And as that's happening, Venus is in the house of marriage. Now, this could be very practically what it looks like. Your marriage partner is needing your attention, and you are really so busy with being successful in the work and career space. And you're going to come to attention about that on Wednesday, but you'll feel it Monday through Friday. This also can be working with your clients, your customers, your audience, your marketplace, the 7th house. you come into contact with difficulty, suppression, maybe a bad, gnarly client, maybe a rotten situation develops. It makes you feel like, oh, that's a downer, because you see, Venus wants to be with you. She's your Lord, and she wants to be in there. You've got too much attention on everyone else around you but yourself. You got to bring the love home. This week, the test is, can I bring to keep the success, but bring the self-love, self-care, self-tenderness back home to who you are, and not about everyone else and what they need, from the work to the spouse to everybody else. Also, if you have a spouse, also, or business partner arrangements. Also notice that Venus rules your chunky money house. Some of this could look like stress regarding shared resources that are highly opportune. Like, oh my God, this is fantastic. Like, my spouse just came into money, or my business partner just leveled us up. And now you're going to have to deal with the success and some difficult circumstances around it as you sort of deal with the other person and the money. So it's not just yours to deal with that's coming into the storyline here. Saturn's in the mix too. That can definitely look like an inheritance for some of you from a father figure who's elder, and then difficulties with who gets what and when. And one thing I say about Saturn and Venus together, we're past the worst of that. That was hitting the wall last weekend, like a week before the weekend one behind us. But they're still in the same sign, right? So I would say also look to your long-term love partner if you have one. Don't start a new relationship under this, please. This is not a good start. They might be going through melancholy, exhaustion, fatigue, or depression as they feel like they've lost the joy and the pleasure of life. So talk to your partner, ask them how they're feeling. It's the joy and pleasure in life is the cost of success. Are they willing to continue that way? There's a particular test ahead for them, maybe on Wednesday, but Monday through Friday, to choose to honor their own needs as well as the needs of those who are in demand of their attention. All right. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. The sky tells us that we have a story here. Now, the story is that the beginning of the week, Sunday, Monday, maybe a bit into Tuesday, you might have found or will find that you're going to have to come into a kind of maybe a gnarly conversation about sex, romance, children, or with your children. It's fifth house, and it's going to be Mars and Mercury together on Monday. And the other thing about that Sunday, Monday is that there also could be something going on with your child, and they're going through a difficult time. And sometimes it's as simple as, under this kind of sky, Mars is, I'm moving or going away, and Mercury is, I'm telling you. So if your children are going to say, we're moving to a different city or moving out of the house, whatever, that wouldn't surprise me this week ahead at all. Or your child might be going through a difficult breakup, right, in their life, and they're just telling you about it. So we're going to look at that potential story if you have kids, obviously. And this is also the fifth house that has to do with your own entrepreneurial and creative endeavors. But the difficult conversations here could be aimed at your sibling one older, could be aimed at connected to a sibling two younger, could be connected to conversations that are difficult, connected to friends and having to pull away from a friend and tell them, no, I just can't be hanging with you these days. I'm too busy in my entrepreneurial creative space down here. A difficult conversation regarding babies and children and pregnancy, okay? Jupiter flowing from the house of children and grandchildren. Now, when we leave behind that early week and we move to Wednesday is going to be a day of a new moon in the sign. Did I say new moon or full moon? But anyway, new moon in the sign of Pisces. That moon has already been covered by me on March the 15th video. Go watch it. But also for your sign, but also the same day, Venus, the goddess of beauty and desire and joyful energies of what you desire and love and money. Venus is in Aries squaring Jupiter exalted in Cancer. Oh, what a time. Jupiter is like, what is it that you're leaning into that is truly purposeful in your life? You want meaning and purpose. This is also expansion of children that are grandchildren. They may be coming in, or you want to level up in university or win in a legal case or travel the foreign shores with great excitement. And all of a sudden we've got Venus in a workhouse squaring that, and she's not happy here necessarily. Like, your work isn't full of joy right now. There's no doubt about it. She's exiled from the 12th house, her kingdom. She wants to be there playing, quietly playing instruments in the bedroom, maybe finding bed pleasures at home, maybe going to the ashram or taking some solitude and even creative solitude time. And she's so busy working here. So she's kind of burning out, especially with Saturn. If you go back to about the weekend of March the 7th, 8th, you probably hit a wall in your work. So Friday, whatever, the 6th, that weekend, 7th and 8th was a jam up as she crashed into Saturn. And now she's past the acute burnout, but she's just not happy in the work. Oh, I don't work, I'm retired. Well, what do you do to be of service to the world? Okay, guys, this is also difficulties with the health of a pet. This is also challenges with your tenants if you rent a property, or you're a leasee and problems with your landlord. But she's here unhappy. If it's a workhouse, unhappy with the work. Not wanting to do all of that work. That's what it means. And yet she's got opportunities up here. So you could get more, it depends on what your work is. This is the hand of the king. If you work for somebody in power, you're expanding your prosperity and success, right? If you do like something like I work for the director of the company or the CEO, and now you've got this tension. The work is here. It's not joyful. You want alone time, and yet you're succeeding up here. Book publishing deals are succeeding. International success is here. You're feeling on purpose, but you're stressed at the workload. You want to travel, but the workload is not letting you go on that journey. So there's a lot of tension here. The underlying lesson is solitude. If Venus could only hang out over here, if she could only be in the 12th house, she'd be super happy. And that means, can you find some space in your life to be alone, to do the things in your solitude, including bad pleasures, that will balance out the scales? And this week is a bit of a test for you to actually bring that into your life. Because, you can chase the success all you want in life. We all can. But if you're not actually enjoying the ride, what's the point, right? What is the point? So the work part of your life may even be detrimental to your health under the sky, especially as Venus gets closer to the end of March. And Mercury will go direct at the end of the March, but we'll do another video on that. I just want you to think about March 20th. It's at the expense of a health challenge. You're going to overwork yourself. So be careful the midweek ahead. Opportunity beckons, find balance. Choose more alone time. If you go home to a family and kids and your wife or husband, then say, hey guys, I need to go into the basement or the spare room or whatever. Just leave me alone in the corner of the living room. I need my own time right now. And that will really help you get through this week ahead. Balance it out. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. What an interesting week. We have Mercury on Sunday, Monday, coming into a tension energy with Mars and conjunction. And usually it's information or news. And it can be very exciting or very hard, either one. Mars will always say, let's make an action and decision from the news or information that we've procured, let's say Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And so maybe it's behind you when you're listening to this, but it has to do with your home life, property, real estate, the mom and dad, family of origin stuff, particularly mom. But you're dealing with some kind of really core decisions. It could impact your marriage and your career as well. So if you have a marriage, so you're making these kinds of, major like discussions in the home, at home with somebody, right? And guess what? Mercury rules your significant long-term love partner. So I would say that there's some difficult parting type conversations, like separating conversations. You can have the dishes and I'll take the sofa. You take the dog and I'll take the cat. Or, we need to talk. It's one of the, we need to talk. Your partner says that to you probably because Mercury is your partner here. We need to talk. So there can be some destined and important legal conversations with Athena down here as well. Now that's going to take place on the weekend through to Monday, but then midweek, on Wednesday, the 18th, we're going to have a new moon in Pisces. It's a beautiful moon in the house of home, property, and real estate. And it can, in 6 months, move you to a new home. Go watch or beautify or expand your home. Go watch my video that came out on the 15th about that. But on the very same day that I didn't cover is a square between Jupiter and Venus. All right. So Venus is in the house of romantic love and children and creativity and independent entrepreneurial business. She's squaring Jupiter in the house of shared resources. To me, the sky looks like you're going into a conversational energy early in the week that really amplifies itself. Epicenter Wednesday, you'll feel it Monday to Friday, about some kind of conversation with romantic love partners or children revolving around financial matters and shared resources. Okay. And this could also be about loans. If you have a debt you owe to someone or they owe money to you. And all of a sudden there's these, it could be a child, it could be a lover, it could be a spouse. So money, debts, indebtedness, shared monies and resources, even tax structures and difficult conversations vis-a-vis children or romantic partners and spouse. Okay. This is the vibe on Wednesday, but there's a hack here. And that's what I'm trying to get to. If you want to see Venus down here, she is in exile from the 11th. She's powerful up here. Friends, a sibling one older, groups of clubs and networks of belonging. Take the stress to a friendship circle. Ask for guidance from the people that you like. Who are these people? Because those people are benefactors and allies. And Venus can say, I'm exiled from any benefactor, ally, advice, help me over here. And you can do that. You can just say, okay, I'm going to go find those people. They're still in my life. For gosh sakes, I'll ask them what they think. What guidance can they give me about whatever this stress is here? And for many of you, it will. And if you're already married, it can look very energetically stressful. Don't start a new relationship under the sky. It's too gnarly. Well, Jupiter trining the 4th house, money from an inheritance, money connected to inheritance and siblings, money connected to family of origin wealth and legacy wealth, and the role your children play in some of that money. Those are themes that are playing out here midweek, Monday through Friday. The hack, the key to success is to go up here and do a consulting with and benefactors, allies, a sibling, one older, friends that you trust, even just spending time with some friends to get away from whatever the domestic tension is with this 5th house problem. If it involves your children, and it could involve your children, right? No one wants to excommunicate a child, but you could be telling your child, for example, okay, I'm stressed out about money and child, but Venus is the ruler of the house of work. You could be telling your kids to get a job. You know what I mean? It's just that simple. So you're not financing their entire reality. So if you have kids, that may be a theme as well. And lastly, Mercury is in the 4th house early in the week and all through the week, going direct on Friday, but he's got that difficult conversation Saturday to Monday. And he's also the ruler of your 10th house of career. So there's something about, if you work from home, then some of the conversations that occur in the home are about the work stories that are difficult, maybe Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising sign. I'm going to go fast. 3 more signs and I got to get out the door. Slow me down on the playback speed. If I hadn't already recorded like 5 signs before I realized the pause button was on, we'd be talking slower. I'm sorry, guys. This girl's the show must go on, right? The show must go on. Capricorn, sturdy, steady, resourceful, mountain goat you are. It looks to me like you got a story going on where there's some tension with a sibling, maybe a difficult conversation with a neighbor, a difficult conversation with a cousin, aunt, uncle, niece, or nephew, extended family. This is going to take place probably Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then it'll fall away from you. Also, problems and difficulty with travel, especially short distance, but it can involve international as well. And maybe a change in plans that feels really kind of swervy, like a last minute detour in travel opportunities and travel plans. Okay. And Mercury here as well, because he's with Mars, right? He's got some gnarly shit. Could be some conversations with employees, employer structures, or conversations about money, including debt. Like somebody owes you, you owe them, but it'll connect to siblings and debt owed, right? Or connect to extended family and debt owed, or neighbors and debts owed, and difficult, gnarly, penetrating conversations at this time. On Wednesday, we have a new moon in Pisces. That new moon in Pisces is already been done by me on the 15th. I dropped a video of March. Go check it out. All about your sign. I love the new moon. It's a glorious, fresh start in the 3rd house. Some of you might be moving to a new neighborhood or a new city or over the next 6 months. Go watch my video. But more importantly, it's this week on Wednesday that Venus and Jupiter square. Jupiter is golden, exalted, opportunity. Exaltation makes him very powerful in the long-term committed love house, but he can also be like over-promising at times. He went direct here on March the 11th through to June 30th. He's been retrograding since November 11th. Now that he's direct, you know what you want. You're ready to go forward. Things are clear. You're ready to like claim the marriage, claim the love, find the person, allow for the relationship to blossom. And anyway, and if you have a marriage, then this is your partner really blossoming between now and June 30th. But Jupiter is direct, and here's Venus squaring him on Wednesday. And you're going to feel this energy because my chart's on Thursday, Monday to Friday. And the square tells me that you're likely to have some possible opportunity with a cost. It may be about changing where you live and a domicile home change connected to business partners, a sibling 3 older or 3 younger, and connected to legacy wealth, and connected to maybe something connected to friendliness or beauty in the home. And yet you're having a conflict with another. It's not a conflict. There's opportunity at a cost. So Venus in the 4th house is at home. So, she's baking cookies, right? Remember Hillary Clinton? I don't just bake cookies when she was being elected, when Bill was running for office. That's Venus down here. She's got her warrior Xena princess on, and she might be really good at like plowing the garden so that you can plant some seeds with with a sword or a bulldozer, or not even a sword. She's fired up. She's a warrior in the home. Warriors don't hang in the home. And she's a female warrior in the home, and yet she wants to be in the 10th house of career and reputation and professional success. And so she's got this opportunity, though. What is that? What is this glorious opportunity? Sibling, 1 older, 2 older, 3 older, sibling, younger, 3 younger, 3 younger, 3 younger, 3 older. It could be connected to land. But it's funny how she's grumpy here, right? She doesn't want to be here. Even Chiron's looming on her. And moon means at home, issues to do with the home and home life. So Saturn exalts your 10th house. Venus owns your 10th house. Everyone's stuck in the house. Everyone wants to be at the top of the sky, kind of kicking ass in career and accomplishments and professional success. But there's stuff down here to deal with. There may be like a kind of compromise you need to make as an opportunity emerges. And it could also take you to the 5th house, romantic love. Venus rules that. And long-term commitment or children. There's a lot of duty going on in the home, a lot of responsibility going on in the home, a lot of playing nice when you'd rather be busy doing something else. So look at whatever's being asked of you that looks like a golden opportunity. It could involve travel, as I think I probably said. It may involve relationship. Like, I guess I know a Capricorn guy, this woman might say, hey, would you mind traveling to my town and building me that basement suite that you offered a few months ago? So that would be exactly that. Do you really want that opportunity? You really want to be focused on your own agenda. What are your own priorities for success in life? You're not here just to help someone else. That could be what this is. So let me know in the comments how Wednesday plays out. Monday to Friday, you're feeling it, okay? Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. What you have going on in the sky, Mr. and Miss Aquarius, I am one of you. I'm Aquarius rising. First of all, what is this difficulty here? This is like, this is going to be like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, maybe a bit on Tuesday. You feel this like Mars, Mercury in the house of voice. Now that's voice, that's speech. What are you saying and who are you saying it to? You're going to be a little bit on the grumpy side, okay, on the weekend into Monday, maybe even Tuesday, where you got some hard words that might want to be spoken that are them's fighting words, them's cutting words. Those are like, I don't know. What do you do in the water? Those are water pistol words because this is water, poo, poo, pew, pew with water pistols at some situation in your life. Now, where were you likely to aim it? That's the question, You may aim it at the squares. Harsh words for your children, your lover, your sibling 2 younger, your sibling 1 older, harsh words going out, difficult conversations being had. But Mars likes to always cut, end, and sever. And Mercury is the mind, making up your mind and speaking that you're going to cut, end, or sever or quit something, right? Guys, I've got so many octopus tentacles. Other than I am going to make an announcement to all of my former clients that I'm retiring from readings. Sure, I'm going to be recommending other people, but I already know that. So we'll see what this week is actually about. What am I going to cut out or quit? But I don't think that whatever it is going to be difficult for you because you're the one speaking it, right? You might want to make some changes in your earnings, marketing, and selling strategies under this kind of sky this week ahead, starting on Wednesday. It's epicenter Wednesday, Monday to Friday. You feel this energy playing out. We have a new moon for new beginnings and earnings, money, and resources. You're going to know that moon happens on Wednesday, but I did the video already. So go watch that video drop that came out on Sunday, the 15th of the month. And then we move into Jupiter exalted in your house of work, moving forward on the 30th of the month. Sorry, the March 11th to the 30th of June. And this could bring lots of things: prosperity, enjoyment, success in your work, your livelihood, your job, your employment structures. You could increase your employees if you have them. You could be employed if you want to be employed. And, good things for your rental properties and pets and all of that. Under this, I rented a 2-bedroom place starting in June, thank God. And so all of this energy is positive. But then, there's Venus. She's like squaring Jupiter from the 3rd house of writing, communicating, teaching, social media, landscape of all the social media world, the daily habits and routines of your local environment and city, town, and neighborhood. Venus is not having as much fun. She's in her boss babe. No, she's in her Xena warrior princess, Joan of Arc outfit. She's acting like a man in the warrior. She's having a beer with the Valhalla warriors in the beer hall. And she's not really that's not her thing, right? She wants to be up here in your 9th house, writing a book, publishing a book, and going on international travel, going on a pilgrimage, being on purpose and in a dharmic alignment with life's purpose. And somehow she's stuck down here in this very busy, busy, busy house. And also divining, scrying, and fortune telling. Well, I do still see a few clients through till June. And I have to say, it's probably me resisting it next week. Boom. And at the same time, opportunity, growth, and expansion beckon. So what's the solution for the tension up here? 9th house is a solution. What is the 9th house? And she also rules your home life, right? So she's stressed out. She's stressed out in your home life. She's stressed out in your purpose. I think one of the big ways to resolve this is to angle into her exile, direct exile from Libra, and read books. I'm not kidding you. Read books. Go to a book club. Go to a library. Take a trip, book a trip, take a trip next week, get away from it all. Find a spiritual guide, mentor, advisor, or counselor, or pastor, or rabbi to help you. Find some guidance over here. Lean into the idea that you have a bigger purpose than the everyday busy 3rd house. I mean, I'm not kidding you. The 3rd house is grocery stores, banks, local restaurants. It's your writing, speaking, writing, marketing, selling, teaching, learning house. It's just so busy in that cadent 3rd house. It's a junk drawer. And yet, what if you could just go over here? Like, I'm going to take the advice I'm giving myself, and I'm going to start reading a book every night before bed, starting around 7:00 and turning off all my social media. And so this is Libra library book, right? And guidance counselors and mentors and if therapists can be of the 9th house, the coach type people as well, the hands of the king, the advisors. So find advisors to support you. Lean into 9th house, that the deeper meaning of life is you have a purpose and a dharma, and everything else around it is irrelevant unless it aligns with your true north compass. So that's going to hit you midweek on Wednesday, but you'll notice it building Monday and dissolving out by Friday. All right. And last but not least, I should go. And siblings are here. So you could have some challenge with a sibling, especially if the sibling's an employee. That makes me worry. My sister works for me, right? Sibling squaring the house of employees. So a bit of a difficult window of time with a sibling, if they're employed by you, or just siblings in general with pets and debts and work and employment, and employees and siblings and neighborhood and neighbors. That's the tension here midweek. Golden opportunity to escape hatch to the 9th house. I think I'll fly the friendly skies and jet set off to where? Where is it safe, guys? Give me a safe place to go. And just say, guys, I'm off to Hawaii for a week. If that happens, I'll let you know. Give me a beach and give me a timeout corner. Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. The week ahead is a interesting time. First of all, of course, on Wednesday, we have the new moon in your sign, and it's a beautiful new moon. And I've covered the power of that reset button for your sign. Pisces sun is your career. Pisces moon is your home and nest and emotions. And Pisces rising can reorient your whole personality and character, but also can bring you starts in career, love and marriage, and home life. That video came out on the 15th. So we won't cover that. But as the week begins, you'll feel it Saturday, Sunday, Monday, maybe a bit Tuesday. There's a difficult conversation that you're initiating. You are conversing, or you have an idea. You're going to make a decision on your idea. You have something to say. It might feel sharp and stingy. It's likely to be sharp and stingy either at a child, but in a softer touch, or at your spouse. Mercury rules the house of the spouse. So what is this conversation that will emerge most likely on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday behind us, into Monday, maybe a bit on Tuesday, with a long-term significant love partner, a gnarly client, somebody gives you terrible feedback, they want their money back, or difficult conversations with a business partner. That's the story that comes up early in the week. It will pass. Okay. It's not going to last forever. And with the sun co-present with the difficult conversation, it may be also connected to clients and work-related matters as well, for sure. Now, or it could be with spouse and shared debts, how much money you guys have to deal with together. And then we move on and we talk about Wednesday, the day of the new moon that's already been covered. We see Venus and Jupiter forming a square. Now, Venus, the goddess of all good things, is in a grumpy mood. She's in your money house. This is your earnings, pocketbook, wallet, savings, the possessions of your life, including I possess this much money to spend. And in this condition, she is very female warrior. She's got a harsher masculine edge. She's in fighting mode, and she's going to square opportune and expansive Jupiter in the house of children, romantic love partners, and things connected to your entrepreneurial or artistic or creative businesses. And as she sits here squaring Mr. Opportunity, Jupiter direct, March 11th through to the 30th of June. So that's really good. That means, by the way, your children could have children. And you could produce grandchildren for you, and you'll hear about that thanks to this conversation here earlier in the week, or even through the weekend to the end of this week, from the 15th to the 22nd. You might find out you're going to be a grandparent, but this is money. So your kid's having a kid, but they want you to foot the bill or whatever. There's something to do with maybe money and children coming through, and it might feel like an obligation. Your child, though, could be in a very good space. Like, okay, they're like, oh my God, dad or mom, I got the opportunity of a lifetime and I got accepted to Harvard, but I don't have enough money and I can't get a student loan. Or I've got an accepted job at an international setting, but I need someone to help pay my moving expenses. So a kid could be looking to you for financial help. And you may be feeling this week tense. Same with a lover, romantic partner, or expenditures connected to your entrepreneurial or creative projects feel like a really big leap of spending for you. You feel contracted and anxious about money and spending because you have chironic wound there since 2019. Now you've got a fearful, anxious, and compressed Saturn. Now, Saturn and Venus exalt your 8th house. So I'm going to give you a tip. Say you're earning money and you need to have an expenditure that's going to actually be good for you in the long run or good for your kid. And you're like, oh my God, my savings account's almost empty. Well, it's possible with Venus being the Lord of your 8th house and Saturn being the exaltation Lord, you asked your in-laws for some help. This is the in-laws. Some of you take some money from the shared resources with your spouse, and it's not just your own money, and ask his permission or her permission, obviously. Or you actually leverage some money for whoever needs it or whatever investment in your own artistic and creative endeavors need it, right? You don't have the money, then you just borrow the money. Leverage the money. Now, I know I don't encourage people to over leverage, but this can be that story. Mercury also rules the property, home, and land and real estate part of the chart, right? He is flowing to Jupiter. If you're coming up into a real estate opportunity as well, and it may not connect to kids, but it may, you want to move close to your kids, you want more room for your kids in the house, then you can, it's better off succeed by giving Venus and Saturn the path to the 8th house, where they could ostensibly give you a clue that if you don't have the money because you didn't make that much money, it's not in your savings account, or you can't gin it up, then is there any other money that you can get that comes from others, like your in-laws, your shared resources with a spouse, or yes, loans from banks and financing situations to do the property thing here, or to honor the situation with kids or creative projects. See, Venus with Saturn is going to be contraction around money, and you don't have to be contracted. Jupiter's flowing to you. Jupiter's a benefic squaring, but witnessing your money house. Your money is going to get better and better and better by June 30th. Okay. And then after that, for a year, it's going to get better through work and livelihood. So trust me, if there's an immediate tension around spending something, I think Jupiter's trying to say, but the spending could be worth it. Find a compromise if it's a kid who needs money, and maybe be willing to co-mortgage or co-loan or co-leverage some money. Or again, ask the in-laws for some help if they have some. That's what I've got for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I guess I could say your lover or romantic partner's really tense here. They want to go big or go home. Like, let's have a big wedding. And you're like, I don't have money for a big wedding. There's that kind of thing going on here. Don't forget, this video was recorded pretty well, like 25 minutes in, and I had to stop and record. Today I did talk fast. I apologize. Please go under my description box for my Substack, where you can join me, my Patreon community, where I have 4 classes, my members only here, which is lots of fun. I put content out you don't get anywhere else. And we do some live streams now and then. And all said and done, I'll be looking at what other ways I can activate more perks for you as members. I might be having bonus content, a la Dan Waits at World Astrology Report. And if you are a healer out there and you're one of those types, send me some love. Just send me some vibes of like, Lori has so much energy to get through everything. She's not so stressed out about her octopus. She finds the perfect solution for her 8 legs into all social media platforms. Thanks, guys. No outro today. I've got to go off and walk to my location for my appointment. Take care. I'll see you in the next video drop, which is Thursday. I'm usually a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday is going on right now. So let me know if that works for you guys. Famous people and SEO trending topics are coming out from now on Saturdays. I'll be dropping a video on the I would have dropped probably an Oscar video on Saturday before the Oscars. Go check it out and see what you think about my predictions on a few of the winners. I probably got some of it right. All right. Ciao, ciao. Lunatic astrology.